Yay! For about an hour now. Hello! Welcome back. I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. In this video, I'll be reading for 24 hours. A 24-hour read-a-thon. I'm not going to be reading for 24 hours straight. Let that be clear, because I wouldn't be able to handle it. I need my beauty sleep. I need my rest. We're going to read in periods of time. I don't think it's going to take 2 days. It's going to take a little more than 2 days. On the maximum, it's going to take 4 days. At least that's my prediction. So I hope I will achieve this. 24 hours. I have some books ready that I want to read in this video. Anyways, I'm going to grab the books and show them to you, and we're just going to start after that. I forgot to mention, I have done 24-hour read-a-thons countless times. So many fucking times, it's not even funny anymore. And every time I failed, and I have not posted the video because I failed. I was like, oh my god, this is crap, this is shit. So I just threw all the things in the garbage. Fingers crossed that's gonna happen this time, because I really wanted to. So now let's get into the books. The first book that I want to read, I actually forgot the title, but it's something like three something. Let me check. It's on my e-reader. I'm not gonna show you the cover, so there won't be a little picture of it because it is an horrendous cover. I'm not gonna show that to you. Three Hard Lessons by Nikki Sloan. This is the author of the Nashville Neighborhood series, and I'm reading a different series. This is the second book in that series, and I enjoyed the first book. I think it was a 3.25 star rating. These are just very smutty books. It's just a fun time, you know, and I'm going to start with that. I've already started it. I am 16% through, and I will finish this today. So the first one we have is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is supposed to be like a kind of paranormal ghost something, like creatures? Ghosts? I don't know for the rest, but I've heard that this is a really good book, and I have had this on my shelf for a little while. I think since February, so more than half a year, I think. Or like half a year. Oh my god. And it's finally time to read it. I got this at the thrift store, and I was so happy that I found it. It was only like €1. Like, come on, guys. I needed this. And the next one is kind of a maybe situation. It's Savor It by Tara Dewitt. I already started this. And I got maybe 20 pages, and I was like, I'm not going to be doing this. This is annoying me. It's aggravating me. It literally aggravated me so much. I got angry at this book because I just didn't understand it. I was not following it. And maybe I had to get more into the book, but the writing style was just not working for me in those 20 pages that I read, but I want to try again. Then we have The Doll's House by MJ Arledge. This is the third book in this series. The first book is Eeny Meeny. The second is Pop Goes the Weasel. I already started this as well. I got up to page 180, I think. And then I just stopped reading, and I don't remember anything about this. So I'm going to continue reading it. No, not continue. I'm going to start again and hope that I can finish it this time, because I was really enjoying it, but I just never finished it because I was like, okay, I'm going to put it down and pick up a romance because I'm in the mood for a romance. And never picked this one back up. The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer. This is the second book in the Queen's Cove series. I've already read the first one. I really like that one. So I hope this one is going to be a 4-star. I feel like it is going to be a 4-star because this is apparently better than the first one. So I have high hopes for this one. The last one we have is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I actually wanted to make a vlog because I do own this whole entire series, making a vlog, finishing this series by this author, you know. I just decided to put it on here because this needs to get off of my TBR, okay? This has been on here for more than a year, and I have no good reason why I haven't been reading it, because it's Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez. I've heard good things about this book, good things about the series. It should be good, right? So I am really excited. I just haven't gotten to it. It was just never high on my priority list for some reason. I do want to make it clear that there could be some changes. I could just leave out a book and pick up another one instead. So that was all that I wanted to say. I'm gonna start the timer, and we're gonna start reading 3 Hard Lessons. I'm with my bae, Elmo. Anyway, say hi. I'm gonna start the timer. fallen asleep. Mistake number 1 was being like, okay, I'm tired, I'm gonna take a quick nap. Mistake number 2 is not setting an alarm. So that was not the plan, but I did read for a while before that happened. I read for 1 hour and 53 minutes and 12 seconds. And I got a good chunk of 3 hard lessons done. I'm now in chapter 20, and that is 64% through the book. So I'm way over halfway. And I'm really enjoying this book. It's like a 3-star read. And I say that I'm really enjoying it. And what I mean by that is it's fine. It's fine. But it's like entertaining. And that's why it's a 3-star read. Because it's entertaining, but also it's so bad. I just enjoy my time reading these, and they're just a fun time, and that is what I'm looking for. So it's still 3-star, like, it's okay. But at the same time, I'm like, ooh, eating this up, you know? And it's very insta-lovey, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about this. It's basically about the Blindfold Club. This club that this person works at, Peyton, is the best friend of the FMC in the first book. She has this client this night, and he pays $30,000 to have sex with her. So that story progresses, and he wants to take her home, and she wants that as well. She's like, oh my god, he changed me. So that's why insta love comes in. And there's way more to the story. Well, not way more, but there's more to the story. It's not very, very plot heavy. I like the characters. I like Peyton. Oh, I don't know. I like her, and I also like Dominic, and they are connected in a way that they previously didn't know about. And that is not like a weird sibling thing. They're friends with the same people. I'm just enjoying it while I'm reading it. It's nothing special. I'm just gonna finish it up right now. I think I'm gonna be able to finish it in the next hour, and then I'm gonna start the next book. So that's the plan for now. I'll update you when I have finished the book. I am actually pretty damn tired. I think it's like just hit 10 o'clock. I finished the book, 3 hard lessons. I enjoyed it. It was a 3-star read. There were some things that I was like, okay, no. But at the same time, it was enjoyable, so a 3-star feels fair for it. And also, 3 stars is not very high, so I feel like that's fair rating. So that's what I've read so far. Now, we've got to start another book. And I've already thought a little bit about it. I put all the books next to me, and I was like, which book do I want to read? I was kind of between these two, The Friend Zone and The Wrong Mr. Right, but I think I'm gonna do The Wrong Mr. Right because this is a summer romance. I think, like, I don't know, but she's in a bikini and he's naked and there's a surfboard, so I was like, this is giving summer, and I should probably read it during the summer. The weather does not look like summer, but it's okay. It's I'm gonna read this. I'll update you tomorrow because I'm not gonna update any more today. I'm gonna update you tomorrow, and I'm gonna start this tonight. We're gonna pretend that I didn't start this book today and that I started it yesterday, because yesterday I was fucking tired, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep, whatever. So I started it today. I am now on page 57, but the most romantic thing just happened. Like, I love when there's a bookworm in a book. Like, love that for me. And the cutest thing just happened. So Wyatt, our MMC, noticed how our FMC Hannah lit up when she was talking about Pride and Prejudice. She was like, oh, I love it, blah, blah, blah. She was talking to someone else about it, and he was there when she talked about it, and he noticed how she lit up. The next thing he does, the moment he comes home, he's like, hey, can I borrow Pride and Prejudice from you to his sister-in-law? Because he wants to talk to her about it. He wants to talk to her about it and see the way she lights up when she's talking about it. My god, that's so fucking romantic, and I'm here for it. He's amazing. I love him already, and I'm not even 100 pages in. Like, come on now. Alright, so I've been reading for about 2 hours now, I think. Today. 2 hours and 4 minutes, I mean. Like, look at that. Ooh, with one hand. So, I am now on page 160. This is like an eye-opener for me, because I'm like, I read slower than I thought I did, because I timed it once before when I did a field read-a-thon, and I read 120 pages in an hour. Babe, you and me, we're not the same. It's just really different for me, and that is fine. But I am really, really enjoying this book. It's such a good book. I love Wyatt. Like, he's jealous, but he admitted to being jealous. And if there's anything I love in a person, is admitting they're feeling things that some men or some women even are opposed to feeling. I'm such a sucker for that. I don't know why, but I hate it when these characters are in denial and they're like, no, I don't feel these feelings, but why do I have butterflies in my stomach when I'm around him? Babe, you like them. And in this case, he knows that he's being jealous. So I am loving this. I feel like it's gonna be like a 4 or 4.25 star read. At the beginning, I thought, oh my god, this is gonna be 5 stars, but those were the first 50 pages. Now it's not giving 5-star feelings, but it's still very, very good. So I'm gonna continue reading, obviously, because it's 24-hour read-a-thon. We're not even halfway. We're not even a quarter of the way through. Like, come on, Sarah. I need to have this book finished by today and get started on another book. So that's what I'm gonna do. I literally go back on my word every single time because I think I was like, yeah, I'm gonna finish Two Wrongs Make a Right. That's another book. The Wrong Mr. Right. I'm gonna finish The Wrong Mr. Right. Babes, what were you saying? What were you saying? Because I just finished this book. I literally finished this book, I think like an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago, and I haven't picked up another book since because I'm just like, I don't know what. Like, I put my camera just shut up really randomly, love that. But I put this stack next to my bed that I showed you that I was gonna pick a book from, most likely. And I'm just like looking at it and I go like, I don't know. I am so indecisive and it's not even funny. I haven't actually said how many hours I've read for. I have finished 2 books in 7 hours and 35 minutes and 53 seconds. This is very, very close to how long it actually took me because every time that I stopped reading, I paused the timer. Every time that I took like a 10-second break, I paused the timer. So it's very accurate, but at the same time, sometimes when I just look up from my book and I zone out, I don't stop the timer. So it's pretty accurate, but this is how many hours I've read. I've read 2 books and now we need to pick a next book and I'm just so indecisive. This one, The Raven Boys, or this one, The Friend Zone. 2 totally different things. I could also The Doll's House. I have decided I'm gonna read The Raven Boys because I'm like, if this is like a creepier book, I've heard some people say that it's a little bit unsettling, but the people that have said those aren't into these things, I think. If I finish this today, I will start The Friend Zone after that. I just realized that I didn't say shit about The Wrong Mr. Right. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. It's about Wyatt and Hannah. Was her name Hannah? Her name was Hannah. I was right. Hannah wants to learn to be confident. She calls it being a hot girl. She wants to learn how to be a hot girl. I find that term very cringe. So but she wants to be a hot girl. And she knows that Wyatt is carefree. He doesn't think about things too much. And he goes out with people that she thinks are hot girls, who are confident in themselves, who love being spontaneous, that kind of stuff. And Hannah is like the opposite of that. She's in this tiny little bookstore, and every time that Wyatt comes in, Hannah has a crush on him. Every time he comes in, she starts hiding, she starts blushing, and she starts avoiding him, that kind of stuff. She doesn't want to be that shy girl anymore. She wants to be confident. So she blackmails Wyatt into doing that, into learning her that. He's like, okay, I'll entertain her, you know? He's like, the blackmail doesn't really matter to me because he just doesn't care. And that is basically the premise of this story. The relationship evolves from there. They go surfing a lot, so it's very summer coded. I'm sorry that I hadn't said it yet. I said it now. Yeah, I'm gonna read The Raven Boys because I haven't started it yet. I was putting it off, you know? But I'm gonna start it now. I'm gonna be so fucking for real right now. I'm hating this book. I'm not even that far in, like, look at that. I've read this much. I have this much left. But I don't think I can do it. I really don't. I kind of want to DNF because the writing style is just so freaking dense. Then one chapter I was like, oh, this is getting better. But then the next chapter I was confused all over again. I think this book really does have the potential to be good, but not for me. So I'm going to give it up to page, I think, like 60, 70, 80. Maybe that. If it gets better, I'm going to continue reading. But if it's not going to get better, I'm definitely going to DNF this book because I'm not going to put myself through the torture. I almost fell asleep 3 separate times in the first 40 pages that I read this book. And that is concerning And it's really concerning. So I'm not going to push myself to read this book when I'm not enjoying it, when it will just end up being a 1-star or something. I'm going to keep reading for now. But if I have read like 30 more pages and I'm still not enjoying it, I'm still really confused, I'm still skimming over things, I'm going to put it down. I'm still reading The Raven Boys. I'm enjoying it way more than I was before. I think it may have been the tiredness kicking. Oh my god, there's a spider. It may have been oh yeah, also my cat. It may have been the tiredness kicking in. I was tired. And maybe that's why the book didn't hit like I wanted it to hit. It's not gonna be anything like a 4-star. I think it's gonna be like a 3.5 maybe at the most. But for now, I'm gonna keep reading The Raven Boys. I hope I can finish it today. I'm enjoying it more. It's still not a favorite read of mine, obviously, but it's way more enjoyable than it was before. I still haven't freaking finished The Raven Boys. This is such a fail, but I am planning on finishing this today and getting halfway through the friend zone. And I'm saying all these things. I'm making all these promises. And nothing that I'm saying is true. Because every time I go back on my word, I'm like, hey guys, I haven't even finished this fucking book yet. I'm trying my best, okay? I've just been going through it. Anyways, I realized I haven't actually told you anything about the plot of this book. And that is because I wasn't really focusing. And I couldn't tell you shit about the plot because I wasn't focusing. And that way, nothing landed for me, and I just didn't know what it was about. But it's basically about these Raven Boys. Raven Boys are like these boys that go to this prestigious school. Like our female main character, Blue, she hates these Raven Boys. She's like, oh my god, they're so annoying. Like, they think they're the shit, blah, 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 blah. But then she starts interacting with these Raven Boys. And the Raven Boys, they are looking for ley lines to basically like for supernatural activity for some reason. And they want to find this one god-like thing. And that way they can wake that god-like thing and maybe they can get a favor. I think it was something like that, but it's kind of confusing because at the start, Blue, our female main character, the first true love that she has, he will die. That true love will die. And I was like, okay, this is the direction that it's gonna go. It's like basically like a romance, something like that. Like, I know it's not gonna be purely romance, but it's gonna be something like that. It took an entire different direction. It had just been mentioned again, but it's not the whole entire focus of the book. Like the first maybe like 150, 175 pages were about that, but then it took a turn, and now it's not about that. It's more about the ley lines and discovering the ley lines and discovering that god. I am enjoying it. It's feeling like a 3 or a 3.25 star read, not a 3.5 because I'm not enjoying it that much. But it's still okay, it's good. I have this much left. I'm gonna finish this today. Like, mark my words, I'm gonna finish this today. I haven't even showed you the time yet. 11 hours, exactly 11 hours, babes. Still haven't hit the halfway mark. I'm gonna continue reading. That was the update I had. Next book, did I already say that is the friend zone that I'm gonna read? Like, we're switching it up a little bit. And I think after the friend zone, I'm gonna start Doll's House, because that way we can switch it up. Like a romance, a paranormal something, romance, and then a thriller, and then a romance again. I have now finished The Raven Boys by Maggie Steve. I'm not even going to pronounce that name. This book, I ended up rating it a 3.5. I enjoyed it for most of the book, but the beginning of the book was really, really rough for me, as I already explained multiple times. It was just, I hated it. Like, there is no other word for it. Like, I freaking despised it. That's also a new word. I hated it, despised it. I couldn't get through it. It's just, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to DNF because this is bad. Like, I understand why people like this, but this is, to me, this is bad. But I ended up actually really enjoying it, which was a huge surprise after that rough start. I thought the story was very, very well constructed, and I think that was the best part about this book. I don't know how else to explain it, but I just felt like there were connections that were made that felt very easy to understand, but if you had to put it in writing, it was harder to write down. So I applaud the author for that, because she did that in a really, really good way, and I really enjoyed the way that she did it. It was very digestible. I don't feel anything specific towards these characters. I don't feel a specific connection to them. So let's put that away. Now we're on hour 12 and a half. if you can see that. And it's already pretty late and I have my last day of therapy tomorrow. I'm so fucking scared. I am not going to be able to start the friend zone because it's already really, really late and I want to go to sleep. But I will start the friend zone tomorrow. So I will continue this tomorrow. After tomorrow, I'll probably read a little bit more on Saturday, I think. And after that, I'll start it again. Not start the timer again, but continue it on Monday. And we'll go on from there. And I hope I can finish it by Tuesday. It's now Monday. Okay, so today I'm going to try to get most of the 12 hours that I have left done. I think I'm going to really like this book. It's Abby Jimenez. Like, what do you expect, babe? Like, it's obviously going to be at least a 3.75. So I am really excited. I am just going to read this book. And yeah, that's all I'm going to do today. I've been reading for about an hour now. Oh, wait, my brightness. Like, look at that. I am almost on page 100. So my reading pace really varies. I don't know what it is. Like, with the Raven Boys, I read like 60 pages or like 70 pages in an hour. Now I basically read almost 100 pages in an hour. Like, is it the book? Because I'm really, really, really enjoying this book. But here's the thing. I am enjoying it, but I still feel like this will not be a 4-star or even a 3-star maybe. If this plays out how I think it will play out, this will not be any higher than 3 stars, I think. Or maybe like a 3.5 on a maximum. Because I don't condone cheating at all. I don't. And even if it's emotional cheating, if it's not physical cheating, if they're not having sex while in a relationship, I still think it's cheating. That's what's happening here. And especially when you don't tell your significant other about the feelings that you're having about this other dude, I can't accept that. I don't understand why that had to be a plot point in this book, because it could have just been the infertility, because there's infertility in this. It could have been just that, fertility issues. But the author, Abby Jimenez, had to put cheating in there. In my opinion, it's cheating. I'm not sure if it's gonna get physical, but now it feels like emotional cheating because they're spending a lot of time together. They both have feelings for each other. They don't share the fact that they have feelings for each other. He thinks that she doesn't have feelings for him and she thinks that he doesn't have feelings for him, but they both do have feelings. But I'm now in chapter 13. I'm like this far of the way through. For the rest, I'm really enjoying it. Like, if that had not been in here, it definitely would have been like a 4.5. Like, that's how much I hate the cheating trope. It doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't. And it's so annoying. But for the rest, it's a really good book. I really enjoyed the writing style. It flows very, very, very easy. And it's just so enjoyable for the rest. Like, it goes by so freaking fast. It feels like I've read 20 pages while I've read almost 100. I think that is all I wanted to say for now. I'm just not enjoying that aspect of the story. This is really, really not good. I am now over halfway. Yay for that. I've been reading for about 15 hours, a little less than 15 hours. I have like 15 more minutes than I've left. I didn't think this book could get worse than it had been with the cheating. Like, it wasn't actually cheating, but it felt like cheating to me and I didn't like that. But it got worse. It just got worse and it took a turn and I'm like, no. And I've read some reviews and apparently it's supposed to get even worse in the last 20%. I've enjoyed every single Abby Jimenez book that I've read so far, except for this one. So I really hope the rest of the series is better, because that is what I've heard. And also, if it's not better, oh my god, I don't know what I'll do with myself. I finished the friend zone with almost 16 and a half hours on the clock. Look at that. Okay, so I ended up rating this a 3.25. The beginning really annoyed me because I felt like there was cheating. They didn't cheat in the sense that they had physical contact during the relationship, but it still felt like emotional cheating, and I don't enjoy that. Some people might have a different opinion and you would like this book more, but that was the first thing that annoyed me about this book. And then the second thing is how Kristen is a female main character, I don't think I've actually mentioned that, how she handled the issues that she was dealing with. Of course, you're gonna have some self-doubt and stuff, but the way she dragged others in that with her could have been handled very differently. Abby Jimenez didn't do that in a different way, and it just kind of irked me. It annoyed me that that happened in that way. I cannot tell you much about it because I will spoil you. But the thing that I thought was going to happen at the end of this book, in the last 20%, didn't happen. And I'm really, really happy about that because then it would have been like 2.5, I think. But I guess Abby Jimenez does have some boundaries and didn't put that in this book. So that's a good thing. Josh, he's like, she's not like other girls, but he puts other girls down because of that. She drinks beer instead of wine. She does this instead of that. She wears sweatpants and blah, 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 blah. To be fair, Kristen, she doesn't say anything about the fact that she's like other girls, I think. I think she doesn't say anything about the fact that she's not like other girls, but he does. He puts other women down because of it, and it's like, no, babe, that's not necessary, you know? You can just be like, I like her because she's like this. I like her because she does that, but that doesn't mean that other women are less than they are because of the fact that they do it differently. I didn't expect the ending. I think this was purely a setup for the next book, or like the third book in the series, I'm not sure. Because I didn't feel necessary for this story, and if the next story has to be about the subject, okay. If it isn't a setup, I strongly feel like it is a setup, but if it's not, that's just annoying because that was not necessary at all. Yeah, I'm gonna check if the end of this book was a setup for a different story because I want to know now. I was right, and I cannot say I'm not excited for the next book. I'm not gonna tell you who it's about, what it's about, because that will be a spoiler for this book. So if you haven't yet read this book, you definitely have to read this book first if you want to avoid spoilers. I don't have anything more to say. I'm just gonna start my next book. Some books are gonna be delivered soon, and I'm really excited about that. I'm not gonna unbox them in this video. I'm gonna unbox them in another video because I'm currently working on 2 separate videos. I'm about to start this book, but first I wanted to tell you a little bit about this book. So it's basically about this guy, I think. I don't exactly remember because it's been a while since I read those pages, but someone finds a dead body on a remote beach. She was buried there, but her family didn't know that she was gone because they've gotten text from her all of the years that she was gone, that they haven't seen her. So they're like, is she dead? So someone was keeping her alive beyond the grave. It says so on the back as well. Now another girl has been kidnapped. And we're following the point of view of that girl, the detective on that case, and at the beginning the point of view of the guy who finds the dead body. I'm not sure if there's the point of view of the killer or like the kidnapper in this book, because I remember that in the 2 previous books there were point of views of the killer / kidnapper / crime committing person, but I don't remember if that was also included in this book. But I'm gonna see if that happens. I'm not sure if I'm actually in the thriller mood, but I want to include a thriller. And every time that I'm reading a thriller, I enjoy thriller, so I'm gonna commit to it, guys. I'm gonna freaking commit to this book. You ever had like a situation where you were so immersed in a book that you just time flew by and then you were like, oh my god, I almost finished? I just had that and I kind of forgot to update because of that. I am way over halfway. This took me an hour and a half. I was on page like 140 or something like that. I read the rest of this in an hour and a half. Okay, to be fair, the font, ginormous, pages not too long, chapters very short, but that's impressive because I'm reading about 70 pages per hour, per half hour. Like that's 140 pages per hour. And I'm definitely gonna be finishing this book in the next hour. I am also gonna buy the next book in the series ASAP because, babe, I need to continue the series. Because it has been so long since I continued the series, and now I'm like, why didn't I continue the series? Because it was fucking good. As I said, I'm not really in the mood for a thriller, but when I'm reading one, I am in the mood. And same thing goes for now, because now I want to read more thrillers, because I'm like, ooh, this is delicious. Like, I don't even need romance, because thrillers are so exciting as well. And also, it's in third person, but to me, I don't feel disconnected to the characters, which I usually do when I'm reading in third person. But in this case, I don't feel disconnected at all. So that's positive as well. I think that's basically all I want. Oh crap, I lost my page. I'm just gonna continue reading. Next time I'm updating you is when I finish this book because it flows so easily. I seriously recommend this series, and especially this book, because the previous 2 books in the series I enjoyed, but not as much as I'm enjoying this one. And to be fair, it has been a while since I read those, but I feel like I'm enjoying this one way more. So I'm gonna skedoodle and keep reading. It's finished! Yay! So I rated this 4 stars. It was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't expect that. I was expecting not the worst, but I thought that this would be like a 3.5, maybe 3.75. And I know a 4-star rating isn't that much higher, but it's still higher, and it still makes a big difference for me, at least. Definitely gonna read the rest of the books in this series. I already added them to my Amazon wishlist because I was like, I need them right now, so I'm gonna add them. Doll's House, really good book. I don't have much thoughts about this book that I didn't already share with you. It was very fast-paced. It went by so fast. I read 140 pages or even more in a freaking hour. Like, in my intro, I did say that if I finish all the books, I would read Savor It by Tara Dewitt. I'm not going to do that because I'm just not in the mood. And I finished all of the rest of the books that I put on this TBR, but I'm not in the mood for something that I know, or not, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm like 70% certain I'm not really gonna enjoy for the first 100 pages at least. I am just not in the mood for that, to get into a book where I'm not even excited to get into it at the moment. So I'm gonna pick up another book, and I've already picked that book out. It's Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I picked this book because I don't have any other videos planned for this book. I've been eyeing this for a while, and it just sounds so interesting. It's a romance, a second chance romance. Second chance romances are hits or misses, and mostly misses, because I feel like every time that I read a second chance romance, the reason why they broke up in the first place was very valid, and they didn't talk it through too much. That kind of irks me, but I hope that doesn't happen in this book. I've heard really positive things. I've also heard really positive things about the other book that this author wrote that just released. This is the book that I'm gonna start. I don't think I'll be finishing it. I didn't even show you the time yet. 19 hours and 52 minutes. So I have just over 4 hours left, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. I will try my best, but I think if I finish it, it will be like with 2 minutes left on the clock, because this is 330 pages, and the font, it's smaller than what I'm used to. So this is the book that I'm gonna pick up next. I'm just gonna do that right now and hope I'll get to finish this challenge today. I just want to have it finished today so I can start a new video, because my storage is not happy with me. So we're gonna read this book, and I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna update you when I can. We have about 2.5 hours left and 2 minutes, but who's counting? As for reading, obviously, I have been reading the book that I said I would read, Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I am really enjoying this book, actually. I was kind of apprehensive going into it because for some reason I expected to have to really get into it and not be there right away. But I was interested, like, from the moment that the story started, I was interested in the characters, in the story, in the writing style. As we already established, is that it's a second chance romance, and it's between this florist and this wedding planner. So they have had a relationship in the past, and we're moving through past and present timeline. The present timeline is in the point of view of our female main character, Ama, and the past timeline is in our male main character's point of view, or like the love interest point of view, because the main focus of the story is Ama. But the male love interest point of view is in the past tense. And we're just following that and how they met. And then in the now timeline, you see that they truly hate each other, but there's still a lot of chemistry. They have been avoiding each other for 2 years or something like that. And now, because Ama is planning a wedding for this one famous person, and they specifically want him as a florist, they have to work together again on that wedding. I really love it. I love the premise of this story. Execution of it is really well done, and I'm just enjoying my time reading it. So I'm gonna continue this and we have 2.5 hours left again. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be explaining this correctly, but I have this much left. I have an hour and a half left in this challenge, so I think I will get to another book as well, which is great, with an hour left or something like that. I wanted to share some thoughts before I saw and read about the grand review of the relationship now being okay again and them being back together after all those years. So I feel like this story is gonna lean on the past tense on the past. I feel like the relationship that's gonna happen soon, that they're gonna get back together, is gonna lean on the fact that we just read about the past tense where they were happy together and the heartbreak after that. I feel like the author is gonna lean on those emotions and basically use that to get these characters back together again, and not because they have chemistry, like, don't get me wrong, but not because they feel love or they have catch feelings again. By Amma, I have seen that she was like slightly catching feelings, but nothing too big. I haven't seen Elliot do that at all throughout this book. And I feel like the past tense was kind of put there for us to be able to be convinced that this relationship was gonna work. I want the relationship to work in the present timeline because of the fact that they have chemistry, because of the fact that they feel stuff again. Slowly but surely, you do get to see how Elliot like changes a little bit, how Amma changes a little bit, but I want more of that. I don't know if I've explained this correctly, but that is what I feel, and I think those were like the words that I want to put that in. I have less than oh wait, I have like 70 pages left. Okay, I have 70 pages left, and then I'm finished, and then I'm gonna get done. So that's finished, and then I'm gonna start the next book. It's now done, finito, done, ready. I finished the sixth book of this video, Forget Me Not. I really enjoyed this book, but I feel a little bit conflicted because, as I just said, I didn't want the present timeline to rely on the past timeline. It did happen a little bit, but not as much as I was expecting to. This book couldn't have been longer. Have been longer because we're following a wedding in this book, and the end is basically when the wedding has ended that she has been planning and that he has made like bouquets for. I just wanted more from the relationship. I think they could have made up a little bit earlier in the book because that only happened in the last like 20 pages. Like, there was chemistry. The fact still stands that they weren't in like a relationship up until the very last few pages. Up until the last like 50 pages, it felt like Elliot hated Amma. Suddenly it had like a switcheroo, and it was like, oh yeah, I like you. So again, feel conflicted about it, but I feel like it's still like a 4-star read because I really enjoyed it. It flowed very easily. So quick to get through. I finished this in a few hours. This is how much time we have left. For the last like 40 minutes, I have to pick up another book, and I'm not sure what that book is gonna be. Yes, decided, guys. I'm gonna be rereading The Shadows Between Us because I haven't done that, I think, since the end of like 2022, or maybe like beginning of 2022. Oh my god, that's not okay. This is my favorite book of all time. I want to see if it still holds up. I have a strong suspicion that it's still gonna hold up because the nostalgia of this book, it's immediate 5 stars, you know? Read it 8 times. I'm now gonna read it for the 9th time. And I annotated the shit out of this. I just really love this. And if you're not new to this channel, you will probably have heard me talk about this book more often than only this video. Looked at this and I was like, I want to do a reread. I want to do a reread with you. Now I'm gonna start it for the last 40 minutes. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna skedoodle and start this book. I did not actually end up reading for the time that I wanted yesterday. I wanted to have it finished. Alas, we're not finished. About 24 minutes left. And that's good because that means that I can read a little bit more of The Shadows Between Us today. This does not disappoint. Like, I get the 5-star feeling. I got the 5-star feeling immediately when I started reading this. And I was so happy to be back in this world, back with these characters. Definitely gonna be a 5 stars still. I can already feel it even though I'm not even 30 pages in. I know that's gonna be 5 stars. 1, for the nostalgia, and 2, because it is a damn good book in my opinion. I'm just gonna continue now, and the next time I'm updating you is when the time is over, and then I'll update you on the books that I read in this video and how far I'm into this book. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll see you soon. I did it. I freaking did it. Oh my god, I read it for 24 hours. I think this is the first time that I have semi-succeeded because it's still not 24 hours straight. It took me 9 days to complete this. I read it for the full 24 hours just in small periods, and then I was like, okay, I gotta hurry because I don't have anything planned yet for videos, and that is concerning. So it's like, hurry the fuck up, Sarah, we're gonna be doing this. And then I finished it. And today it's Wednesday. This video will be uploaded Friday. I read 7 books in total, didn't finish all 7 of them. I started 1, finished 6. The first book that I read in this video was 3 Hard Lessons. This is a series. The first part was 3 Simple Rules. I rated this 3 stars. It was a fun time, but nothing that I was like, okay, this is amazing. The next book that I read was The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer. This is the second book in the Queen's Cove series. 4 stars, really good. I loved Wyatt. I liked Hannah a little bit less, but she was still a really, really good character. I really loved her. Just overall, really, really loved this book. Then I read a bit of an odd one, because The Raven Boys, I ended up rating 3.5 stars, but the first like 50, 60 pages I absolutely despised, loathed. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I despised, hated the first 60 pages. But for some, I don't know what it was, but I changed, or this book changed, because suddenly I was enjoying it. After that, I read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. This was a 3.25 star. I was just kind of disappointed by this book because some things I just didn't like, and I've already talked about those things, and I'm not going to repeat that. After that, oh my god, I read a load of books. Oh my god. The Doll's House by MJ Arledge. This was such an enjoyable read. I didn't expect much going into this because I already started it one time and I was enjoying it, but it wasn't like anything life-changing. But it was way more fun than I remembered it being. Then Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This was also such a fun read. Like, we've had a lot of fun reads, honestly. This was such a fun read. Also, 4-star rating. This is Flores wedding planner. It was just so cute. I don't think this book could have been any longer, but I think the relationship could have developed a little more towards the middle and not towards the end, like the last 50 pages. I read 60 pages of The Shadows Between Us, and it's as good as I remembered. Honestly, it's as good as I remembered, and I'm very, very happy. The nostalgia. But if you want to hear more about my thoughts, I think I will include this in my wrap-up for September. I have some previous videos where I talk about this book. It's also in my fall TBR, my 5-star reads video. So if you want, you can check those out as well. But that was the last book. I don't know how many pages I read in total. I'll put like the calculation right here. This is how many pages I read in 24 hours. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you want to see more of me. If you like this, subscribe and like this video, of course. I hope I'll see you guys later. So, bye-bye.